From the gritty streets of Compton to the sweltering neighborhoods of New Orleans, hip-hop has always had an undeniable connection to gang culture. But what happens when rappers use their platform to tell their stories of escaping the clutches of gang life? Get ready to explore the incredible journeys of some of the biggest names in rap, former gang members who have turned into successful artists. Buckle up for a wild ride, because these stories are about to get crazy. Pop Smoke. The sound of Brooklyn is a gritty, unapologetic roar that echoes through the streets and captures the spirit of the city like no other. And in the midst of this cacophony, a young rapper emerged with a voice so deep and powerful that it seemed to channel the very soul of Brooklyn itself. He was known as Pop Smoke, and he came roaring onto the music scene with a sound that was once raw, unfiltered, and undeniably captivating. With a style that blended the ferocity of drill music with the swagger of trap, Bashar Baraka Jackson quickly became a force to be reckoned with, captivating audiences around the world with his larger-than-life personality and infectious energy. He rose to fame in 2019 with his hit song Welcome to the Party, and quickly became one of the most talked about artists in the hip-hop world. However, behind the music, there was a darker side to Pop Smoke's story: his involvement with the Crips gang. Pop Smoke was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and grew up in the Carnegie neighborhood. As a teenager, he became involved with the local Crips gang, a notorious street gang known for its involvement in criminal activities such as drug dealing, violence, and other illegal acts. Pop Smoke was more of an affiliate rather than a full-fledged member of the Wu Gang, a subset of the Crips that originated in his neighborhood. And in his music, he often mentioned it, even though he never officially claimed membership in the gang. Pop Smoke's involvement with the gang was not a secret, and he frequently referenced it in his music. He often incorporated references to his gang affiliation in his lyrics, such as in the song PTSD, where he raps, "I'm Big 092, know I'm Wu," and he did it in a couple of his other songs too. However, Pop Smoke's association with the gang also brought him controversy and legal troubles. In January 2020, Pop Smoke was arrested at JFK International Airport in New York after authorities found a stolen Rolls-Royce Wraith that had been used in his music video. He was charged with interstate transportation of a stolen vehicle, and the incident raised questions about his involvement in criminal activity beyond his music. Unfortunately, Pop Smoke's association with the gang ultimately led to his untimely death. In February 2020, the rapper was shot and killed during a home invasion robbery in the Hollywood Hills. The incident shocked the hip-hop world and raised concerns about the dangers of gang culture and violence in the music industry. Despite the controversy surrounding his life, Pop Smoke's music and legacy have continued to live on. He was more than just his gang affiliations. He was a talented artist who brought a unique voice and energy to the music industry. Though his time with us was tragically cut short, his impact on the music world and beyond is undeniable, and his music will continue to inspire and influence generations to come. Lil Durk. Lil Durk's life story reads like a Hollywood blockbuster, with twists and turns that are both dramatic and dangerous. He rose from the gritty streets of Chicago to become one of the most successful rappers of his generation, all while navigating the treacherous world of gang violence and criminal activity. Before achieving fame, Durk was involved in gang life in his hometown, where violence and poverty were commonplace. This experience influenced his music and gave him a perspective on life that he still carries with him today. Durk grew up in the south side of Chicago, a neighborhood plagued by gang violence and poverty. He joined the gang called the Black Disciples, which is one of the largest and most violent street gangs in the city. Durk's association with the gang started at a young age, as he grew up around members of the gang and eventually became a member himself. During his time with the Black Disciples, Durk engaged in criminal activities, including drug dealing and robberies. He was also involved in several violent incidents, including a shooting where he was the intended target. In another incident, his manager was shot and killed while sitting in a car in the South Side neighborhood of Chicago, while Durk faced legal troubles and was involved in feuds with other rappers. Despite his involvement in gang life, Durk always had a passion for music. He began recording songs in his teens, and his music quickly gained popularity in his neighborhood. However, his gang affiliations made it difficult for him to pursue his music career. In 2011, Durk was arrested on music charges and sentenced to 3 months in prison. This experience made him realize that he needed to make a change in his life and pursue his music career seriously. He used his time in prison to write songs and reflect on his life choices. After his release from prison, Durk began focusing on his music career and worked hard to gain recognition in the industry. He released several mixtapes that gained critical acclaim and eventually signed with major record labels. Like many rappers, Lil Durk has faced his fair share of controversies throughout his career. In 2014, he was arrested on a weapons charge again and eventually sentenced to a year in prison. He also had been involved in several feuds with other rappers, including Chief Keef and 6ix9ine. In 2020, Durk's friend and fellow rapper King Vaughn was shot and killed in Atlanta. This incident was highly publicized, and Durk faced backlash for his alleged involvement in the incident. He also faced criticism for his association association with the gang lifestyle, with some accusing him of glorifying gang violence in his music. Throughout his life, Lil Durk has been involved in criminal activities, and his gang affiliation has played a vital role in shaping his current life. But regardless of his association with the Black Disciples gang in Chicago, he has been praised for his raw honesty and emotional depth. He often raps about his personal struggles with addiction, loss, and heartbreak, as well as his triumphs and successes, and remains a talented and influential artist who has made a significant impact on the hip-hop world. 21 Savage. Born Shaya Ben Abraham Joseph in 1992, 21 Savage is an Atlanta-based rapper who rose to fame for his raw and unapologetic approach to music. However, before he was known as a chart-topping rapper, 21 Savage was deeply involved with the notorious gang in Atlanta known as the Bloods. In an interview with Vlad TV in 2016, he even publicly admitted to being a member of the Bloods gang. Growing up in a rough Atlanta neighborhood, 21 Savage was exposed to gang life at a young age. By the time he was a teenager, he was a full-fledged member of the Bloods, and he was heavily involved in criminal activities. He sold drugs and was often involved in violent altercations with rival gang members. However, despite his involvement in gang life, 21 Savage was always passionate about music. He began writing and recording his own songs in his early teens, and his talent eventually caught the attention of local producers. With their help, he started releasing mixtapes and gaining a following in Atlanta. But it wasn't until 2016 that 21 Savage's career really took off. He released a collaborative EP with fellow Atlanta rapper Metro Boomin, which quickly went viral. His gritty lyrics and unique flow caught the attention of major labels, and he eventually signed a record deal with Epic Records. Since then, 21 Savage has released multiple successful albums and singles, including Bank Account and A Lot featuring J. Cole. He has collaborated with some of the biggest names in hip-hop, including Drake and Post Malone, and has become a household name in the industry. Despite his success as a rapper, 21 Savage's past involvement with the Bloods has been a source of controversy. In 2019, he was arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, on charges that he had overstayed his visa. During this time, it was revealed that he was actually a British citizen who had moved to the U.S. as a child and was living in the country illegally. The arrest and subsequent revelation about his immigration status sparked a national conversation about immigration policy and brought attention to the issue of children brought to the U.S. without documentation. It also sheds light on the challenges that 21 Savage had faced in his early life, growing up in poverty and being exposed to gang life. Despite these challenges, 21 Savage had used his platform to promote positivity and give back to his community. He has donated money to support education and has spoken out against gun violence. He has also been open about his struggles with mental health and has encouraged others to seek help when needed. From his early days in the streets of Atlanta to his rise as a successful rapper and philanthropist, one thing is certain: he is a man of many layers. His music has touched millions of fans worldwide, but his actions off stage have left an indelible mark on his community. While controversies and legal issues have followed him throughout his career, his music reflects authenticity and emotion, and he continues to inspire others with his artistic sense. Lil Baby. Lil Baby is a rapper who has been making waves in the music industry for his unique style and lyrical talent. However, there is much more to his story than just his music. Lil Baby's journey to success is filled with challenges, struggles, and triumphs. Born in Atlanta, Georgia, Lil Baby grew up in a tough neighborhood with rampant gang activity. Like many young people in his community, he became involved with the local gang, the Bloods. As he got deeper into the gang lifestyle, Lil Baby was involved in several illegal activities, sold drugs, including marijuana and crack cocaine, and also carried a gun for protection. Lil Baby was arrested several times for his involvement in these activities and spent significant time in jail. Over the years, Lil Baby has credited several individuals for helping him launch his music career, including fellow rappers Young Thug and Gunna, and the music executive and co-founder of Quality Control Music, Pierre P. Thomas, and Coach K. Young Thug, who was also from Atlanta, Georgia, took notice of Lil Baby's talent and potential early on and provided him with guidance and support. Thug invited Lil Baby to join his YSL, Young Stoner Life record label, and also collaborated with him on several songs, such as Right Now and My Jeans. In interviews, Lil Baby has spoken highly of Young Thug's influence on his career, citing him as one of his biggest inspirations and mentors. Similarly, Gunna, a fellow rapper from Atlanta, Georgia, played an important role in helping Lil Baby kickstart his career. The two artists met when Lil Baby was still relatively unknown in the music industry. At the time, Gunna was already signed to Young Thug's YSL, Young Stoner Life label, and had gained some recognition for his music. Gunna saw potential in Lil Baby's talent and offered to collaborate on a song with him. The collaboration resulted in the hit song Sold Out Dates, which helped Lil Baby gain more visibility and recognition in the music industry. The song was a commercial success, and its popularity helped put Lil Baby on the map. Following the success of Sold Out Dates, Gunna and Lil Baby continued to collaborate on several other tracks, including Drip Too Hard, which was a massive hit and earned both of them a Grammy nomination for Best Rap/Song Performance. Gunna's support and collaboration with Lil Baby were instrumental in helping him launch his music career. The two artists have since become close friends and collaborators, frequently featuring on each other's songs and supporting each other's projects. In addition to Young Thug and Gunna, Lil Baby's career was also propelled by the support and guidance of Pierre P. Thomas and Coach K, who are the co-founders of Quality Control Music. The label signed Lil Baby in 2017 and has since helped him release several successful projects, including his debut album Harder Than Ever and his sophomore album My Turn. Coach K, who has been instrumental in the success of many other artists such as Migos and Lil Yachty, has a significant influence on Lil Baby's career. He saw in Lil Baby the qualities required to succeed in the Atlanta rap scene, including a distinctive voice, unique style, and respect from his peers. He provided Lil Baby with guidance, support, and opportunities to help him achieve success in the industry. In an interview with Rolling Stones, Coach K said, "I remember one day we were standing outside the studio. I'll never forget this. He had on all white, and I was just like, baby, man, why don't you rap? Like, you got the swag, you got the lingo, you get respect around the city from the east side to the west side to the south side. Why don't you rap?" He used to be like, "Coach, I'm a street nigga." He used to laugh at me. I was just like, half these rappers telling your story. Dog, your shit so real. I bet if you decide to do it, you're gonna be big. After Coach K's encouragement, Baby enlisted the aid of Young Thug and Gunna, both to guide him in developing his rap skills. It turned out that Lil Baby had a natural talent for rapping, displaying an agile flow and an adept sense of melody, typical of Atlanta hip-hop from the late 2010s. He favored heavy trap beats and heavily processed vocals, and worked at an astonishingly prolific pace. In just 3 years, he had become a major star, with his second album, My Turn, released in February, achieving the most streams in the US that year. As Lil Baby's music career took off, he also began to distance himself from his former gang involvement. He has spoken openly about his past, admitting that leaving the gang lifestyle behind wasn't easy. However, he credits his success in music as a major motivating factor for making positive changes in his life. Today, Lil Baby is known for his successful career as a rapper and his contributions to the hip-hop industry. He has released several popular albums and mixtapes, including Harder Than Ever, Street Gossip, Drip Harder, and My Turn, which debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 chart. Lil Baby has also collaborated with notable artists in the industry, such as Drake, Gunna, and Lil Durk, and has been recognized with numerous awards and nominations for his music, including Grammy nominations and BET Awards. Despite the controversy surrounding him, Lil Baby is one of the most well-known artists in this era who is known globally for his music. Birdman, also known as Brian Williams, is a rapper from New Orleans, Louisiana, who rose to fame in the 1990s as a member of the hip-hop duo Big Timers. However, before he found his success in the music industry, Birdman was involved in gang activity. Birdman was also a member of the notorious gang, the Bloods. As a young man, he was involved in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking and violence. He was arrested several times, including for possession of crack cocaine and for shooting a man in a dispute over money. Despite his involvement in gang activity, Birdman was determined to make a better life for himself. He saw music as a way out of the gang lifestyle and began focusing on his passion for rap. Along with his brother, Ronald Slim Williams, he founded Cash Money Records in 1991 and began recording music. In the early years of Cash Money Records, Birdman and his brother faced many challenges. They had limited resources and struggled to gain traction in the competitive music industry. However, they persevered and eventually succeeded with the release of the Big Timers album Hood Rich in 2002, which went platinum. Despite his success in the music industry, Birdman's past as a gang member continued to haunt him. In 2007, he was involved in a high-profile feud with fellow rapper Lil Wayne, who was also a member of Cash Money Records. Lil Wayne accused Birdman of withholding royalties and trying to control his career, leading to a public falling out between the two. Throughout his career, Birdman has been open about his past as a gang member and his challenges in leaving that lifestyle behind. In interviews, he has spoken about the importance of self-determination and the need to make positive choices to succeed. He's also been involved in the community outreach efforts, working to prevent young people from getting involved in gang activity. Birdman's journey from gang member to successful rapper is a testament of the power of determination and the ability to change one's life trajectory. Despite the challenges he faced, he was able to overcome his past and find success in the music industry. 50 Cent. He's a rapper, actor, entrepreneur, and one of the most controversial figures in the entertainment industry. He's 50 Cent, a man who's made a name for himself with his unique style and unapologetic attitude. From his days as a former gang member to his rise to fame as a musician, 50 Cent has never been afraid to speak his mind or push boundaries. However, before he became a rapper, 50 Cent was a former gang member who grew up in Queens, New York. He was involved in the gang, the Supreme Team, a group that ruled the streets of Queens during the 1980s and early 1990s. The Supreme Team was a drug trafficking organization that dominated the crack cocaine trade in Queens during the height of the crack epidemic. The group was notorious for its violent tactics and its members' ruthless behavior. They were known for using extreme violence to control their turf and were not afraid to kill anyone who got in their way. 50 Cent was introduced to the gang at an early age. His mother was a drug dealer who passed her knowledge and connections to her son. 50 Cent began selling drugs at the age of 12 and quickly rose up the ranks of the Supreme Team. He became a trusted member of the organization and was responsible for transporting drugs and money across state lines. However, 50 Cent's involvement with the Supreme Team was not without its consequences. In 2000, he was shot 9 times in a drive-by shooting that left him with multiple injuries. The incident left him with renewed purpose, and he decided to turn his life around. He left the gang life behind and began pursuing his music career. 50 Cent's music career took off in the early 2000s, and he quickly became one of the biggest names in the rap industry. His debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, sold over 12 million copies worldwide and cemented his status as a superstar. Despite his success, 50 Cent never forgot his past and often referenced it in his music. In interviews, 50 Cent has been open about his former life as a gang member. He has spoken about the violence he witnessed and the danger that came with being part of the Supreme Team. He also talked about how his experiences have influenced his music and helped him to become a successful artist he is today. 50 Cent's story is a powerful example of the transformative power of music. Despite growing up in a world of violence and crime, he turned his life around and became a successful musician. Today, he's not just a rapper, but also an actor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist who uses his influence to make a positive impact on the world. King Vaughn. King Vaughn, whose real name is Davon Daquan Bennett, was a rapper and former gang member who emerged from Chicago's South Side. His music career was cut short when he was tragically shot and killed in November 2020, but he had already significantly impacted the rap scene. King Vaughn's story is unique and striking in many ways. Born and raised in Chicago, he was involved in gang activity from a young age. He was a member of the Black Disciples gang and spent time in prison for robbery and other charges. After being acquitted of a murder case in December 2017, King Vaughn started pursuing a career in rapping in 2018. Within a year, he achieved notable success, including signing with his close friend Lil Durk and garnering more than 8 million views on his Crazy Story music video in 2019. King Vaughn's association with the Black Disciples was a major part of his life, and he rapped about his experiences with the gang in his music. He was open about his past, describing the difficult circumstances that led him to join the gang and the violent incidences he witnessed and participated in. Despite his past, King Vaughn's music gained a significant following, and he quickly became known for his storytelling ability and unique style. He released several mixtapes, including Grandson Volume 1 and LeVon James, which received critical acclaim and helped to establish him as a rising star in the rap world. The controversy was never far from King Vaughn, however. He was involved in several high-profile incidents, including altercations with other rappers and a shooting outside an Atlanta nightclub that left 2 people dead. He was also criticized for some of his lyrics, which were seen as glorifying violence and perpetuating negative stereotypes. Despite these controversies, King Vaughn continued to make music and connect with his fans. He collaborated with other artists such as Lil Durk and Polo G and was seen as a rising star in the Chicago rap scene. Sadly, King Vaughn's life was cut short when he was fatally shot outside of an Atlanta nightclub in November 2020. The incident shocked the rap community and led to an outpouring of grief from fans and fellow artists. King Vaughn's life and music were marked by both his association with the Black Disciples and his pursuit of a better future. His unique style and storytelling ability helped him gain a significant following, but the controversy was never far from his door. While his life was tragically cut short, his impact on the rap world will be felt for years to come. Young Thug. With his unique style and unconventional approach to music, Young Thug has become one of the most influential rappers of his generation. But before he got famous, he was a former gang member who grew up on the dangerous streets of Atlanta. Young Thug was associated with the Bloods gang, known for their violent activities in the southern United States. As a member of the Bloods, Young Thug was involved in various criminal activities, such as drug dealing and armed robbery. He was known for his aggressive behavior and his willingness to use violence to solve problems. In 2021, Young Thug was arrested on conspiracy to violate Georgia's Dangerous RICO Act and participation in criminal street gang. The charges were part of a larger indictment involving 28 defendants associated with Young Slime Life, a gang known as YSL, reportedly affiliated with the National Bloods gang. Prosecutors from Fulton County claim that Young Thug and 2 others founded the gang in late 2012 and that it has been involved in violent criminal activity. However, despite his involvement with the gang, Young Thug was always more interested in music than crime. He would often rap about his experiences on the streets and the struggles of his community. Young Thug's music career began to take off in the early 2010s, and he started gaining recognition for his unique style and unconventional flow. As his popularity grew, he began to distance himself from gang life and focus on his music career. In interviews, he talked about his desire to inspire others from his community to pursue their dreams and leave behind the cycle of poverty and violence. Today, Young Thug is a successful rapper, singer, and songwriter, known for his genre-defying music and his influence on the hip-hop scene. He has worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Drake, Travis Scott, and Future, and has released numerous hit albums and singles. Despite his success, Young Thug has never forgotten his roots or the struggles of his community. He continues to use his platform to raise awareness about social justice issues and promote positive change in the world. He has also been vocal about issues such as police brutality, racial inequality, and the need for criminal justice reform. Today, he's a successful artist, but has been involved in various controversies throughout his career, including legal issues, feuds with other artists, and criticism for his music and personal style. Young Boy Never Broke Again. Young Boy Never Broke Again, also known as NBA Youngboy, is one of the generation's most successful and controversial rappers. But before he became a household name, he was a former gang member who grew up in the violent streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Youngboy was associated with the Top Boy Guerrilla Gang, a criminal organization known for its violent activities and drug dealing in the southern United States. As a member of the Top Boy Guerrilla Gang, Youngboy was involved in various criminal activities such as drug dealing, robbery, and even murder. He was arrested multiple times and spent time in juvenile detention centers and prisons. However, despite his involvement with the gang, Youngboy was always passionate about his music and saw it as a way to escape his troubled past. In 2015, Youngboy started to gain popularity on YouTube and SoundCloud, and his music began to attract the attention of major record labels. He was eventually signed to Atlantic Records in 2017, and his debut album, Until My Death Call My Name, was a commercial success. However, his rise to fame was not without controversy. Youngboy was involved in several high-profile feuds with other rappers, and his lyrics often glorified violence and gang activity. Despite his controversial image, Youngboy has never shied away from discussing his past and his involvement with the gang in shaping his life. In interviews, he has spoken candidly about his experiences on the streets and the struggles of his community. He's also used his platform to advocate for social justice and to raise awareness about issues such as police brutality and systemic racism. Today, Youngboy is one of the most successful rappers in the world, with a huge following on social media and numerous hit albums and singles. He has collaborated with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Lil Baby, Lil Wayne, and Juice WRLD. While his involvement with the Top Boy Guerrilla Gang may have brought him trouble and danger, it ultimately led him to discover his passion for music and to use his platform to speak out against injustice and promote a better future for all.